another dull performance by England as England draw with Denmark 1-1. This is after they narrowly beat Serbia 1-0 in the previous game, in the first game of the Euro 2024. In my predictions, I did say that England will struggle. Right. I just thought that maybe the coaching isn't right, and I'm not sure if they're able to gel as a team in time for this tournament to actually deliver the trophy, because we all know their expectations is for them to win it. But I thought actually they'd struggle maybe come the knockout stages, but it looks like they already struggling now. But let's be fair. Let's be completely fair and say that the first step in any tournament, in any international tournament, is to qualify for the knockout stages, and they've now accumulated 4 points and they've qualified. Yes, I get the problem is the how they did it though, but at least they got, some sort of result. They're still unbeaten and they've qualified for the round of 16. Because let's look at the table. England have 4 points and are top of the group. And still something positive. Denmark and Slovenia are both on 2 points each, and we know that the top two will automatically qualify for the round of 16. So that actually means that even if England lose their next game against Slovenia, the last game, that would mean Slovenia go on 5 points. And this is the worst case scenario. If Denmark then beat Serbia, they will also go on 5 points. So that means England will finish third because they'll have 4 points and both Denmark and Slovenia would have 5. So it's not possible for England to finish lower than third. And let's just say worst case scenario is third. That means that England will still qualify, in my opinion, to the round of 16, because we know they're taking some of the third placed finish with the most points, and 4 points would definitely be enough to be part of that group. Yeah, but obviously finishing third isn't impressive and you want to top the group. And let's just speak about the importance again of topping the group. It means that you probably get an inferior opponent based on their performances. So maybe a team that finished third, or maybe a team that finished second in the other groups. So it does maybe help in that case for a tournament. But let's talk about the problems that are in England right now. So the manager of England, Gareth Southgate, has come out and said that I don't know if this is an excuse for the performances, but he said they don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips. Well, first thing is first. Calvin Phillips was not getting into this team at all. He had such a poor campaign for the past 2 seasons, actually. He's not been anywhere near the levels he used to be for England. So there was no way to justify Calvin Phillips coming into the team. But if you really needed him that badly, you could have taken him. You could have taken him. But the backlash was going to be outrageous. So he decided it's his decision not to take him. But okay, fine. We move on. So he decided that his solution to fix that is to plug Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. And we know that Trent is a right back by nature. Now, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, I think Trent had a decent game in midfield in this last game in particular. Maybe not the first game, but in this last game, he was going about his business well. But we know he's not a natural midfielder. And it's fair criticism for both to say that, okay, Trent did have a decent game, but he's not necessarily giving us everything that we need from a midfielder. And the only way you can get that is by actually playing someone who is a midfielder, and I am a huge believer in that. This is just an example. There are obviously other midfield options available, but you can play Kobe Mainu. That's his position. He's naturally gifted at it. Let's see how he does. Let's then judge the performance in the team after everyone is playing in the right position. If you want Alexander-Arnold so bad, play him at right back. Play him at right back. But the thing is, you can't play him at right back because you know that maybe he's a little bit susceptible to dribbles from pacey wingers, and his defensive qualities may be in question. Although we know that his attacking qualities are brilliant, this does not, playing Alexander-Arnold in midfield, it does not give you the Trent that we know for Liverpool. It does not. It does not give you his width. He does not give you his crosses. He's just giving you one area of his game, and that is passing. That's great passing. But if he can't do that for you enough on the right, then he doesn't offer anything else then in the midfield that maybe a natural midfielder could give you. So that is fair criticism. And I would say if you really want Alexander-Arnold that bad, play him at right back. He didn't have a bad season at right back, so I think he can do well. But it's obviously hard to drop Kyle Walker and captain of the national team. So we have to judge now players based on the positions that they play. Well, it's just easier to do that because then we give people excuses. So, for example, we can say that Foden is not having the impact that he needs to have. Although, again, in this game, Foden had a decent performance. Okay, he had the most shots out of anyone. He had the most take-ons, the most dribbles. It's an improved performance, but he's doing it from left wing. The criticism is that you want to give Foden the free role. You want to play him as a 10. So maybe we get more from Foden if he's playing as a 10. But if he's playing as a left wing, that's not necessarily what he was playing for majority of the season. For City this season, his best performances came as a 10 or from the right. So play him there, and then we can give a fair assessment of his performance. But that sort of role looks to be given to Jude, right? Who is playing more as a 10. And the criticism is he's actually more of an 8. So you play Jude next to Rice and you play Foden with them. And I think the problem with Jude is that he can have a good game, and a lot of the good games that he has is attributed to scoring or assisting because he can get in behind a lot, and that's very good. But sometimes when he doesn't do that, then he doesn't have a very effective game. And yes, we hear a lot about it when he does score and, gets the winning goal like in the last game. But sometimes he can have a very, very quiet game. So I think he can definitely add to Phil Foden and to Jude Bellingham and to the attacking creativity of England as a whole if you do have Foden and Bellingham playing together and you have Rice sitting. You have to trust him there, right? People say Rice is not defensively that solid. Rice identifies as a CDM. Yes, we know he can play 8 as well, but he identifies as a CDM. Let him play CDM. England maybe do not have a Rodri, the most safest player there. Maybe that's why Southgate is forced to play someone that can partner him in sort of those defensive responsibilities. But then, I don't know, play a natural, maybe number 8 as well to accompany Declan Rice. And I think Jude Bellingham, if he puts a shift in and work in, he can contribute defensively. We know he's done that for Madrid. He suffered a lot. For example, in the game against City, they do a lot of tracking back. They do a lot of hard work off the ball. He's done that. So let him play those positions. Then let's judge England. If it's not good enough, then bring in a Conor Gallagher, someone that you'll know will add defensively. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just my opinion. Harry Kane, you can't touch. Harry Kane has to play. He has to start. He has to start. Harry Kane, there's no benching Harry Kane. Whether or not he has a bad game, his qualities, he's the best striker for England that they have. What I do agree with is maybe subbing him when England not having a good game or when he's also not having a good game himself. But it would be very difficult because you're taking your best goal scorer off the pitch, and let's just say England need a goal. You hardly can do that. I don't think Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney have done enough to justify, getting priority over Harry Kane. You want your best striker and your best finisher on the field at all times when you need a goal. But it's not the worst thing in the world to sub him when he's not having a good game and trying something different. That's okay. But in terms of calling him to be dropped, that's not happening. He is captain of the national team anyway. Moving forward, Trippier at left back. I don't think the performances have been the worst in the world, but he didn't have a great end to the season. His attacking threats are definitely nullified, and somehow it's throwing off the balance of the left side. Phil Foden is left-footed. Kieran Trippier is right-footed playing left back. That can sometimes cause a difference with chemistry, right? So I understand that, unfortunately, with Southgate, he did not choose a left-footed left back for this tournament. That's on him. And he went with Luke Shaw, who we know has injury problems, and he's gotten injured again this season. And it looks like during this tournament, actually, he might not be ready to play. So unfortunately, he's forced to go with Kieran Trippier because of his experience and the fact that he's played there before. But I mean, maybe now with the age catching up to him as well, maybe it's throwing the team off. But in this case, I guess he has no choice, right? Because he just didn't select a left-footed left back. And lastly, Gareth Southgate and his subs. How Cole Palmer is not getting a chance is beyond me. I cannot explain it. This was the young player of the season. This man had 20 goals, over 20 goals last season, and definitely warrants some minutes. Like he deserves a chance to show what he can do, because we know he got the chance at Chelsea and he just showed what he can do. So how he's not getting any chance, I have no idea, even as a sub, you know. So I have no idea actually. That is really poor to me. Do you think he already regrets not taking Marcus Rashford? Because we know Marcus Rashford, even off the bench, could be pace, power, directness, dribbling straight at the opponent and the right back's defense. You know what I mean? Like that literal directness that could create a chance out of nothing. Yes, maybe his decision making is not the best, but at least he could create a lot of chaos there at the back. Or even Jack Grealish, because we know that there is no England winger there on the England squad, the whole squad, that offers you what Jack Grealish can offer you. He can keep the ball. He might not lose the ball. He can draw fouls. He can create penalties. He can create chances. So Jack Grealish is very unique, and he could be an option that's actually missing now from the English squad at the Euros, because also his impact off the bench, his positivity, just his name just coming on could lift the players as well, just because they believe that we give Jack Grealish the ball, we won't lose it, a chance can come out of it. So yeah, we know he doesn't have a lot of assists and goals this season. Totally fair for Gareth Southgate not to pick him based on form, but we know his qualities and what he offers you. I don't think Anthony Gordon, Jared Bowen, even Phil Foden can offer you. Jack Grealish is good at maintaining the ball, drawing fouls, and just can help in the progress with the ball. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. We don't know what's going on with England, but they are top of the group, and maybe they'll fix it in the next game. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Let's just see maybe if they can start, getting it to start to click before the important stages of the competition, which will be the knockout stages, which in my opinion, like I've explained, they've already qualified for. So not too bad. Maybe no reason to panic just yet, but let's see how they try fix their play and performances. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.